A cycle of pain. Introduction to generational trauma. We all carry burdens. Echoes of our ancestors whisper in our blood, shaping who we are for better or worse. Generational trauma, a dark inheritance passed down through generations, infects our lives in insidious ways. Like a virus, it replicates, mutating with each generation, leaving a trail of broken lives in its wake. Imagine a family tree, its branches twisted and gnarled, each knot representing a traumatic event. War, abuse, poverty, addiction. Their impact ripples through time, leaving scars that refuse to fade. These wounds, often unacknowledged and unhealed, become a toxic legacy, shaping the lives of those who come after. But there is hope. By shining a light on this darkness, by understanding the mechanisms of generational trauma, we can begin to break free from its grip. We can choose to heal ourselves and in doing so, heal the generations that follow.
It was a cold, gray morning when I first met him. The rain lashed down, mirroring the turmoil I felt inside. I was lost, adrift in a sea of unanswered questions about my own life, my own pain. He sat across from me, shrouded in shadow, his eyes burning with an intensity that both terrified and compelled me. "They call me man of thoughts," he said, his voice a low growl that seemed to resonate deep within my bones. "I am the keeper of stories, the collector of pain. You think you are free," he continued, his words like shards of ice piercing my heart. "But the past is always with you." And so began my journey into the heart of generational trauma.
Generational trauma rarely announces itself with a grand gesture. Instead, it whispers in the shadows, revealing itself in subtle, often confusing ways. It's the constant feeling of unease, the unshakable belief that something bad is always about to happen. It's the quick temper, the hair-trigger reactions that leave you feeling ashamed and confused. I remember watching my father, a big burly man, reduced to a trembling mess by a simple thunderstorm. As a child, I didn't understand. Now I see it for what it was. The echo of his own traumatic past, a past he never spoke of but that lived on in his every fiber. Recognizing these signs, in ourselves and in our families, is the first step towards healing. It's about acknowledging the wounds of the past and understanding how they continue to shape our present.
Fear, a primal instinct designed to protect us from danger, can become a prison when passed down through generations. It can paralyze us, preventing us from pursuing our dreams, from speaking our truth, from living authentically. I think of my grandfather, a man who survived the horrors of war but was forever haunted by its ghosts. He rarely spoke of his experiences, but his fear was palpable. It clung to him like a shroud, suffocating his joy, his ability to connect with others. His fear became our family's fear. This inherited fear, this learned helplessness, can be crippling. We have the power to break free from the chains of fear, to write a new story for ourselves and for generations to come.
Section 5. The burden of silence. The unspoken legacy of pain. Silence, often mistaken for strength, can be the most insidious form of trauma transmission.
When we refuse to acknowledge the pain of the past, when we bury it deep within ourselves, we unwittingly pass it on to our children, our grandchildren, and beyond.
My grandmother, a woman of quiet dignity and grace, carried a secret shame her entire life. A victim of abuse, she never spoke of her suffering, believing that silence was the only way to protect her family.
But her silence was a heavy burden to bear, a burden that ultimately crushed her spirit.
Breaking the silence, however painful it may be, is essential for healing. It's about giving voice to the unspoken, acknowledging the wounds of the past, and refusing to let them define our future. Section 6. Trapped in Amber. Repeating the patterns of the past. One of the most heartbreaking aspects of generational trauma is its tendency to repeat itself. Like a broken record, the same patterns of dysfunction, the same unhealthy coping mechanisms can play out across generations, leaving a trail of pain and brokenness in their wake.
I've seen it in my own family. The alcoholism, the broken relationships, the inability to escape the grip of the past. It's as if we're caught in a web, our destinies predetermined by the choices and experiences of those who came before us. But this is not our fate. By understanding the patterns, by recognizing how they manifest in our own lives, we can begin to make different choices. It's about recognizing that we have a choice to perpetuate the cycle of pain or to break free and create a new, healthier legacy for ourselves and for generations to come.
Section 7. Breaking the chains, confronting the shadows within. Healing from generational trauma is a journey, not a destination. It's a process of confronting our demons, of unearthing buried pain, and of learning to love and accept ourselves, flaws and all. It begins with awareness.
Therapy can be an invaluable tool in this process. Mindfulness practices such as meditation and yoga can help us to regulate our emotions, to become more present in our bodies, and to cultivate a sense of inner peace. It's also essential to build a strong support system. Breaking the chains of generational trauma requires courage, compassion, and an unwavering commitment to our own well-being.
Section 8. A new legacy, healing the wounds of generations. Healing from generational trauma is not just about ourselves, it's about healing our families, our communities, and the generations that follow. By breaking the cycle of pain, we create a ripple effect of healing that extends far beyond our own lives.
Imagine a world where children are no longer burdened by the sins of their fathers, where families are free to create new, healthier patterns of relating. This is the legacy we can create when we choose to heal. By confronting our own demons, by embracing the messy and beautiful complexity of our stories, we pave the way for a brighter future.
Section 9. Rise from the ashes. A call to hope and transformation. The journey of healing from generational trauma is not for the faint of heart. It's a journey that will challenge us to our very core, forcing us to confront our deepest fears and insecurities. But it is a journey worth taking.
For in the process of healing ourselves, we heal the generations that came before us and the generations that will follow.
This is not about erasing the past or pretending that it didn't happen.
So let us rise from the ashes of our past, stronger and wiser for the journey.
The power to heal is within us all.